Good morning, madam. This is Divya Bindu from 2nd BZC. I had chosen the topic about ecological adaptations. The modification in the structure of organism to survive successful in an environment are called adaptations of organisms. Adaptations helps the organism to exist under the prevailing ecological habit. They are divided into three types: hydrophytes, mesophytes, xerophytes. First, hydrophytes. The plants which are living in the water or wet places are called hydrophytes. According to their relation to water and air, they are subdivided into following categories: free floating hydrophytes, rotated floating hydrophytes, submerged hydrophytes, rooted submerged hydrophytes. First, we know free floating hydrophytes. These plants float freely on the surface of water. They remain in the contact with water and air, but not with soil. Example: Eichhornia, Pistia, Ulfia. Flowering plants. Rooted floating hydrophytes. In these plants, the roots are fixed in the mud, but their leaves are flowers or floating on the surface of water. These plants are in the contact with soil, water and air. Example: Nilimbo nymphia. Submerged floating hydrophytes. These plants are completely submerged in water and not in the contact with soil and air. Example: Utillaria. Rooted submerged hydrophytes. These plants are completely submerged in water and rooted in the soil and not in the contact with air. Example: Hydrilla vallisneria. Amphibious hydrophytes. These plants are adapted to both aquatic and terrestrial modes of life. They grow in the shallow water. Example: Ranunculus, Typhi and Sagittaria. This is the picture of free floating hydrophytes, Eichhornia and Pistia. Flowers, they are floated in water. This kind of plants are live in the muddy area and water area. Next, more plants will be divided into two classes. They are adaptations, morphological adaptations and floating adaptations. Anatomical adaptations. Morphological adaptation of hydrophytes in roots and stems and leaves. They are divided into three subcategories. In roots are totally absent in Ulfia and Salvinaria are poorly developed in Hydrilla or well-developed in Ranunculus. The root caps are replaced by root pockets. Example: Eichhornia. In stems, the stem is long, slender, spongy, and flexible in submerged forms. In free-floating forms, the stem is thick, short, and spongious, and in the rooted floating forms, it is a rhizome. Vegetative propagation is through runners, stolen stem and root cutting, timbers, dromes, apiaries, and offsets. In leaves, the leaves are thin, long, and ribbon shaped in Vallisneria, or long and linear in a Patamogen, or finely disset in the Ceratophyllum. The floating leaves are large and flat, as in Nymphia and Nilimbo. In Eichhornia and trap, petioles become solid and spongy. In emergent form, the leaves show heterophyly. Heterophyly means submerged leaves or disengaged and aerial leaves are entire. Example: Linimbo, Sagittaria. Next, morphological adaptation is completed. Next, anatomical adaptations. Cuticle is either completed or absent if present in thin or poorly developed. Single layer of epidermis is present. Cortex is well developed with parenchyma. Vascular tissues are poorly developed. Behind of vascular elements well developed. Xerophytes. The next topic is xerophytes. The xerophytes are divided into morphological adaptations and anatomical adaptations. Xerophytes. The plants which are living in the dry or xeric condition are known as xerophytes. Xerophytic habits can be of two types: physical dryness, physiological dryness. In these habits, soil has a little amount of water due to the inability of soil to hold water because of low rainfall. Physiological dryness. In these habits, water is sufficiently present, but plants are unable to absorb it because of the absence of capillary spaces. Because the elements plants in salty and acidic soil. Based on adaptive characters, xerophytes are classified into three categories. They are ephemeral, succulent, and non-verbal. This is the plants of succulents. We can observe clearly the plant is behind of water area and muddy area. During their period, they grow a small flower. We can see here clearly in the image. Succulent. These are also called enduring plants because they have small thin filament like soil acidic nature. These plants store water in their pods because when we thin a plant we can see the water absorption of the plant behind of the flower or their leaf. During the dry period, these plants develop certain adaptive characters to resist extreme drought condition. Example, Opensia. Here there is the figure to see the Opensia. Opensia has the pinnae structure because in this thin filament small structure is present. Non-succulent. These are also called drought resistant plants. They face both external and internal dryness. Means it cannot be absorb more water or less water. It is absorbed in same quantity of water on the plant. Behind of rainfall or we are pouring a water to the plant. Dry conditions. Example of non-succulent plants, Casuarina. Next, morphological adaptations in xerophytes. In roots. Now we can see the roots. Root system is well developed and is greater than the short system. Root heads or root caps are so well developed. In xerophytic plants with the leaves and stems are covered with hairs are called trichulous plants. Example, cucurbitae. In stem, cucurbita is a tendril formation. It can tendrils means it has tendrils to climb the tree or catch the tree to grow the plant. In morphological adaptations of xerophytes. Now next topic is stem. Stems are mostly hard and woody. They may be aerial or undergo. The stems or leaves are covered with wax coating or covered with dense hair. In some xerophytics or internodes. With the internodes form the tendrils. Tendrils climb the tree. Here you can see the Opensia plant and the climbs of spindle. There is the flower behind of top flower spines. Phylloclasts. Phylloclasts to develop the body structure. Spines protect the plant. Flower for the result of growing. In some of other signal or occasionally two internode modifications into fleshy green structure called clados. Now we have also known the clados. Clados to develop the plant behind of total growth of petiole. Petiole to form a fleshy leaf structure called phyllocard. It is the total structure of phyllocards and Opensia plant. We can observe very clearly. Next, a succulent xerophytic Phylloclades, Opensia, non-succulent Ferriculum capennae, Cladola, Asparagus, Phylloid, Acacia. These are the four plants of their names. We can have a clear vision to observe the plants. Now we can observe, we had structure completed. Now in the leaves. Leaves are generally lectured, leathery and shiny to reflect light and heat. In some plants like Euphorbia, Acacia, Ziziberaceae and Capacia, the stipules are modified into spines. The entire leaves are modified into spines or reduce the scales. Asparagus. Anatomical adaptations. Morphological adaptations is completed. Now anatomical adaptations. Presence of multi-layered epidermis with heavy cuticle to prevent water loss due to transpiration. Morphological means outer part. Anatomical means inner part, which the plant absorbs in the roots, stems and leaves. Hypodermis is well developed with sclerenchymatous tissue. Sunken shadow stomata are present only in the lower epidermis with hairs in the sunken spits. Scotoactive type of stomata found in succulent plants. Vascular bundles are well developed with several layered bundle sheath. Mesophytes is well differentiated into a palisade and spongy parenchyma. In succulent to the stem possesses a water storage region. Anatomical adaptation of xerophytes can absorb water in the plant. This is the picture. This is the clarity vision of the Neremia leaf. It absorbs. This has a thin cuticle behind of upper layer. Lower layer is cuticle. It is open to the stomato to absorb the food. Sponge parenchyma. It can absorb water quantity more. Stomato, goat cells, pet, trichomes means hair-like structures of Nerem. Succulents of Peperomia, lateral with portion band. This portion will store the water to the plant when they need the water to a sufficient balance. It can balance a plant with a water equality. Next topic, the final topic is mesophytes. Now hydrophytes completed, xerophytes completed. The last portion is mesophytes. Physical adaptation. Mesophytes, the plants which are living in moderate conditions, neither too wet nor too dry. Means it can balance water and muddy area and air. It can condition with equal. These are called common land plants. Example, maize and hibiscus. These are can surrounded by behind of near places. They will grow morely. Hydrophytes water, mesophytes muddy. Xerophytes water, hydrophytes muddy. Morphological adaptations. Root stem is extremely developed. These roots may be of two types. They are clinging roots and aerial roots. Clinging roots fix the epiphytes firmly on the surface of supporting objects. Aerial roots are green colored roots which may hang downwardly and absorb moisture from the atmosphere of spongy tissue called Wellman. Wellman roots we cannot find easily because it is the ground state, and we can see in the maize plant. Stem of some epiphytes are succulents and develop pseudobulbous tuberose. Physiological adaptations of mesophytes. All physiological processes are normal, temporary. Wilting takes place at the room temperature. When there is water scarcity, tropophytes are the plants which behave as xerophytes at summer and behave as mesophytes, hydrophytes during rainy season. Epiphytes are the plants which grow peckered on the other plants. They used to support plants only as a shelter and not for water or food supply. These epiphytes are called seed in tropical regions. Next, morphological adaptations of mesophytes. Root system is well developed with root caps and root heads to support the body structure of a plant. Stems are generally aerial, stout, and highly branched. Leaves are generally large, broad, thin, with different shapes. Anatomical adaptations critical in aerial parts are moderately developed. Epidermis is well developed. Behind of stomata are generally present on the both sides. Morphological adaptations completed. Anatomical adaptations. The anatomical adaptations here, there is the picture to see very clear vision. Epidermis or the upper type to observe the water. Multi-layered epidermis is present in the Wellman root tissue. The peculiar exodermis layer is present. Presence of thick cuticle and sunken stomata generally reduce transpiration. Succulent epiphytes contain well-developed parenchyma cells to store water. Any plant will be store water in their roots, stems and leaves. Behind of these three types, plants can be divided into three types: hydrophytes, mesophytes, xerophytes. Hydrophytes means water, mesophytes muddy areas, xerophytes water and muddy. These are the differentiations behind of these plants. Every adaptation can grow the plant, how the plant growth will be shown, how the plant will be divided, and many classes, anatomical adaptations are mesophytes. Thank you for giving this opportunity.